thinkers. So we are again back with another exciting episode of Space Talk, and today we are going to talk about a very relevant topic, needed topic. Whether you are an engineer, you are an innovator, whatever you are doing in your life, this session is going to be very much helpful for you because we all are in a digital world, and like physical world, digital world is also insecure because everywhere we have good people, we have bad people, right? So it's always better to know about the securities, how you can protect yourself, whether it's a ATM fraud, whether it's a website hack, whether you are using WhatsApp. So how much you are secure, or what are the ways you can use technology to secure yourself, your data, and how, for entrepreneurs or for enterprises, what are the real needs of security and how you can do that stuff. So we are going to talk about these exciting topics today. Before that, I want to introduce about the guest of honor today. That is Mr. Abhishek Mitra from Indian Cyber Security Solutions. It's one of the best company for cyber security as well as learning cyber security and ethical hacking. In my childhood, I used to think that if I want to be on television, if I want to be on public forum, I need to be an actor, I need to be a celebrity. But Abhishek has proved that even if you are an engineer, even you are working with technology, still you can be on the limelight because people also need these things. So thank you so much, Abhishek, for coming to this session. And I'm going to give a brief introduction of yours so that people can understand how important you are and what kind of questions can be asked to you. So Abhishek Mitra is the CEO and co-founder of Indian Cybersecurity Solutions and CTO of My Kulguru PGDM MPA Diploma in Digital Marketing CH version 10 ISMS 27001 LA. So he's having 8 years of total experience in the field of cybersecurity and cyber threat monitoring. ISMS 27001 lead auditor with 2 years of cyber audit experience, 5 years of total experience in working closely with Cyber Cell Kolkata in solving cybercrime. So those people who are really protecting you, that is a cyber cell. I have seen many times that ICSS and Abhishek is went to teach them how to do that stuff, and that's really commendable and incredible stuff. He had been featured as top 15 most valuable CEOs in 2019 in Business Connect magazine, and his success story is also shared in his story online media, Your Story online media. His views on cybersecurity is also published in print media like Times of India, Anandabazar Patrika, Telegraph, etc., and had been covered in DD National, News 18 in solving cybercrime cases. Speaker and coach on cybersecurity at Indian Institute of Technology, Jadavpur University, Kines Conference, JIS Group of Colleges, Adams University, Central Industrial Security Forces, member of National Association of Software Services and Companies, NASCOM, and Data Security Council of India and Tycon India. So this is the credibility. This is the huge kind of achievements that Abhishek had, and still going on. So if you going to television, any kind of media, especially in West Bengal medias or national medias, if there is a talk happening on security or a ATM fraud or all this kind of security related concern, you can see Abhishek over there, and I really tune into those channels just because to learn from Abhishek about the security threats and all those stuff. So thank you so much, Abhishek, for joining this session. And I hope the people, all the people, not only the engineers or students, all the people who is really watching this session will get benefited from this session and can understand how vulnerable the digital world is and how they can protect their own self. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Arijit, for inviting me. And I think people should always, like in this. Can you hear me, Arijit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So people in this world, we are forced to a new normal, and which has already forced us to be more adaptive towards the technology. Even people who don't want it to be in this mix of the time, had been forced into technology. So it's been quite obvious that even we know that uh, not only younger age, older age people are much more prone to this kind of cyber attacks. So, as a company, Indian Cybersecurity Solution, we have tried to help with the Cyber Cell Kolkata with finding out many cases and solving bit of cases like Momo attack, which was there previously, which was indulging into young generation people were getting into addicted into those kind of stuff, and ultimately committing crimes and doing ending up with a suicide. So those kind of blackmailing kind of stuffs getting into the Android phone, hacking into the Android phones, and how they were easily doing it through WhatsApp, how they can create an any virtual number and turn into a WhatsApp chat and just come along and chat with you to just to like disturb you and get into a new kind of illegal stuff. So Kolkata and India has seen many kind of this kind of things. Even like when it was the ATM fraud, it was quite evident, and I've shown in many national medias that the purchase of skimmers were so easy because the skimming device which is used to be fit. So those are easy because they were able to be purchased from uh, like Alibaba, and it was easy to be imported to India from China. So then the banking systems and entirely nowadays we come to know that we are now not into terms with the Chinese companies. Many apps and many things have been banned. So it was like we found out that these kind of things were easily being imported to India, and now then banks have changed and they have now not using those kind of slots for entering into the debit cards into the ATM systems. They are using a separate kind of slot which currently holds the card for few seconds and then release it. It was not able to. We are not now able to swap the card. So this is very important things that things have like India have seen, and right now people are much more focused on not only preventing themselves also, but companies are hugely focused to preventing their data and their recruiting. So the career job perspective for people who into getting into cybersecurity as a company, we are getting many new clients during this time, not only from India, from abroad. As we have our branches in recently we have in Canada and also in Bhutan. So routing through those places, there are many companies are coming from Singapore and they are wanting to go for this because nowadays your entire business has shifted to online. Providing customer solutions from online platform is the best way. We have seen the rise of delivery apps like Zomato's and other companies. We have seen the rise of Ola, Ubers when there was not we were not forced into this kind of new norm. But now once we are forced into even the basics, like even a local store wants to operate through an online platform. So that makes it more vulnerable to new kind of attacks, which we have seen this scenario, like new attacks which have come out, like people are calling in the name of a government person or a defense person, and then doing committing those kind of frauds by just sending the QR code to scan and then take out the payment. Even we have seen personally, I've seen many cases where come to us where like the father of that young person who is a renowned celebrity, I cannot take his name, in Bengal. So his father is staying in Asansol, and he had found out that numerous transactions have taken place. So he was forced to scan a QR code even, and even there was like a person called from Paytm like doing a fraud. It was not from the Paytm, and they send an OTP where they've registered uh, the UPI from the banks, and the person, as the father has told everything, the OTPs and everything, and then the entire bank account is empty because once you have registered with the UPI, you don't get any kind of two-factor authentication. So that's very scary. So those things people need to be aware of. And also in the corporate world, people are also like finding out difficulties while they're all the people are working from home. Even few companies are still now working from home. We have not moved to the offices right now. So that kind of scenario where data's privacies are at stake, and companies who are dealing with kind of confidential data, so obviously each and every customer's data is confidential. So once they are dealing with confidential data into a unsecured network, they need to have an understanding of how they can secure their company's data and as well as their own data while they are operating through their own Wi-Fi networks into their home. Like how to use different tools. Even it's very easy, quite a tweak into the settings, and you can be using a VPN, and you can even secure your entire data. So these things we have seen. Uh, Thank you for calling me today. I would like you to ask questions because there are many topics, and in 1 hour it's not been. It won't be an easy task
Absolutely,
to.
absolutely. So I will try to ask you some questions that are absolutely relevant, and you can get proper timing for answer
Yeah,
those questions.
yeah.
I will try with my small intelligence in the field of security, though we need to get into the security part because we are working with IoT, we are building webs, apps, and all those stuff. But you are the godfather in this domain. At least in my network, whoever I have seen that whatever the things you are doing for with the Kolkata police, with the cyber security people, and you are training them to make our life more easier and secure. That's really recommendable job. So my question is from your statement that the elderly people are, yeah.
Arijit, just to interrupt, okay. See, I am not at all. If once you are referring me as a godfather of this, I beg to disagree, because see, there are many people who are into cybersecurity. They are much more capable than what I am. What and my company is trying to do is just to find out a better way of solutions to common people as well as people who are coming to us as a company. We focus corely on technical issues. We focus finding out vulnerabilities in companies once they are asking us to find out, and we report to them and do the auditing part. So me as a cybersecurity person, if anyone gets into my LinkedIn profile, they will be pretty sure that I don't have any kind of technical knowledge. I am not a person who has passed out BTech and I'm sitting out to it and giving lectures in different kind of medias. Even I'm arranging conferences and practical things into colleges, students, everywhere, whoever calls me. But the point is, I'm a marketing person. My education qualification goes through marketing. I started up in cybersecurity. I was lucky enough to start up in a sector which is cybersecurity, which was at that time. Nobody knows it would be that much great, but obviously people knew for somewhere or the other that there would be something which will be great in cybersecurity. I just was fortunate to work, start up my career into cybersecurity domain with a very very small company franchise out here, and then move into another company as representing there as a salesperson, as well as doing the marketing stuffs all over India, pan India basis. I found out a really interesting gap in the market. The gap was people were not pretty much sure that how a company manually can handle and find out like solutions to a company's entire network, web, or application. Is it possible? Or even if it's possible, what kind of guarantee that a company gives? So those where the customer touch points are, where the customer is not sure what he'll be getting a bunch of reports which will be only dealt with a technical person, and the company's CEO will be just sitting down and finding out what goes on. It should be a relevant layout or a format where a management person can really find out what all things are going wrong and what is right. So we developed an application which we give it once we do auditing part with different other companies. Is SAVE, which is secured artificial intelligence based vulnerability assessment tool for enterprise. So that is where I brought in machine learning technology and artificial intelligence technology, and finding out a vulnerability on a web platform. Also, once you install it remotely on your network, it will find out like an SOC kind of system, secured operation center. So
Yeah.
you put it in your own entire network, and we can able to find out that what all threats are coming. You can monitor that, and it will be delivered to you as a report. Okay, so artificial intelligence into artificial and machine learning intelligence into cyber security was a quite a new thing. Now there are many. Even we started, we were just following other companies who have already started in America, and many more are not only in America. So I wanted to do this much more interesting because there should be an easy way of understanding a management part. Once it sits down, you need to find out what all things are going on real time. One, second, it in an application, in a web-based application, you have certain vulnerabilities. So what all risks you are having, it should be written, and what all steps that you can take yourself, okay, to mitigate those risks, and then you bring in the expert. It's not that expert will come and tell you that 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 person giving you the save tool knows everything, or you can completely rely on save. But obviously we can show you the what all process and things we are following that can help your work to do. Is actually you need to find out a solution. If you have a list down of solutions which you can apply to a specific problem which is quite new to you, it becomes easy for people in the management to take actions. And management thinks of action in lectures and not only finding out with sitting out with reports, because that is a burden to them. So we did that. And for public benefit, we have recently launched another application which is known as Mark Darshan, which is an web-based application. What Mark Darshan does is it find out a phishing link, like if you have a doubt in giving your data to that link, you just copy that and paste it in Mark Darshan. Once you paste it and click enter, it will show you that it is a probability, it's a 90% phishing link or not. So it has a prediction. So there also Margdarshak is an artificial intelligence machine learning using technology, where it is predicting that it is the link is genuine or not. About 90% is correct. So these all things with where we have got those data, machine learning data, where we had to train that, and then we need to implement on real life scenarios and find out what all the things that how much accuracy rate it has on the trained data. So machine learning part will be a quite a big thing once it comes into more integrated into cybersecurity, and that is doing wonder for at least for me. I find out many things to do it, because see this cybersecurity I have fallen in love, and I would love to love it more, because it gives me more return of satisfaction. So once I'm implementing those all new things, once it comes to me after the technical and quite a brilliant team of mine working on it, and once they give the result, it gives real satisfaction to me as an individual. That that's
So
really
you
matters
are
actually.
working like a technical doctor. So whoever is having virus and fevers and all those kind of attacks, so you and your team is going to save them. So that's really
Uh,
incredible job, and that's really interesting.
See, to be very honest, doctor, I won't consider a technical doctor. I would rather consider it as a consultant. What we do, okay? Products
Yeah.
that gives the ultimate solutions can be a doctor, because that's a pill that you can take to stop it. But it's consulting. It's about your health. You need to find out morning walk is important. Once you got into the COVID situation, everyone is getting up early and running around, and the slimming figures and the charts are available on social medias and whatever they've followed. So that's the kind of thing that as a cybersecurity person, we need to have it implemented in our real life scenario as a habit. What we should do, what we should not. And once you have an habit of it, you won't be leaking out data as an individual. You become a responsible person once you're working for the company as well. So once you're working for an external company, it also becomes pretty easy that you know about what's security, how much data you are putting yourself at risk. So once an individual is aware of, then he can prevent each and every in like the entire system, an ecosystem where they are working. So individuals awareness is important.
Exactly. So my question was like, as you have said in earlier statement, that the elderly people are more vulnerable to this digital attacks, mostly with finance sectors and all those stuff,
Yeah.
because they don't have that much knowledge of technology, because it was not from their time, so it's something new. But they have savings money and all those stuff in the account, so people target them. It's easier to push them, penetrate them, and get the money out of it. So how we can help these elderly people to be got protected, and help them to live a very sustainable life?
See, it cannot be completely relying on any kind of technology to prevent technical to be very honest, hacking. Because once you develop a technology, there should be one way or the other way that you can uh, bypass that, and you can actually manipulate an individual. So it will be quite wrong if I tell you I'm working on this and I'm working on that, and that will provide entire solution. No, it's not possible, to be very honest. As of now, I am really sure, and I have not found out any kind of 100% solution providing it to them directly. It is obviously my efforts and my entire team's effort of coming into different medias whenever they call us, and actually telling them the basics and understanding the basics. Like, people are not aware of what is the difference between HTTPS and HTTP. It's a very basic
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
HTTPS means secured. Who tells you? I can develop a phishing link, false link, with an HTTPS connection, and I
Yeah.
can
Absolutely.
ask you to give you all your details. So even companies working in cybersecurity even sometimes shocks me once they they also come into with this kind of understanding that once you see HTTPS, it means secured. Once you tell this in national media, it becomes quite dicey. Once you see an HTTPS and anybody can do it while phishing. Even a basics of cybersecurity person, even there are many friends of mine who also into cybersecurity in this industry. They know it. So once they're seeing it in national media and other things, they kind of distance themselves and they tell that it's kind of false. So understanding the basics and telling the basics to people is much more important. Like, people who are elderly, I always tell them it's not about their age, that they should kind of back off of understanding the new technology, because it's a kind of very much important. Because once our generation, like you and me, become, I'm considering me as not more elder than you. So once we become old, once we become too old, we would find out our like grandsons and granddaughters learning codes and developing. Have already started. Like, the next generation is not only waiting for grandsons. It's about our next generation will be much more equivalent enough and knowledgeable enough to code. So that's a kind of like a war against the black hat people. Why? Because every time you develop something new, and everyone people becomes more intelligent, there will be another person who will try to tweak to those kind of things, stuffs, and make something of them.
So as the guards are getting intelligence, the thieves are also getting intelligence. So it's a always a win-win situation. So every time we are
Yes.
having a fight and we are upgrading our own self.
Yes, nobody can guarantee that once you teach people how to lock your outer door and sleep inside your room, and you can guarantee that nobody can come and murder you, or even nobody can come and steal your stuff. It's quite irrelevant, because it's once you develop another new technology, there'll be another thing to happen. Okay, so you cannot
Exactly.
guarantee
So
that.
I had a
Yeah, yeah,
irrelevant story about this. It's I think people can relate with this stuff. So someday one of because my parents used to give me all kind of jewels, all kind of stones to wear to get my destiny and all those stuff. So I was very much irritated with that stuff. So I asked the astrologer that, are your stones are really going to work? I am going to get out of all the problems and all those stuff. Can you guarantee it? So the diplomatic answer was like that it's like an umbrella. So if you are getting into a rainy day, rainy season, you can use the umbrella, but the umbrella cannot guarantee you that you will be absolutely protected from the rain. So it depends on the rain, the intensity of the rain, and how you're holding the umbrella, that how much you will be protected. So this security is also like that somehow, that we
yeah.
can try to protect, but we cannot guarantee that 100% protection will be there.
Yeah, yeah. See, protecting people is a quite a challenging task, because you need to be 100% on your toes, edge of your chair, working along, understanding new technologies, understanding the gaps of those new technologies. People are thinking that the blockchain itself will solve 90% of cybersecurity problems, but are you really telling that it will? I doubt, because there will be people who will be testing it, and there will be people who will be finding out new ways of getting into it. So it's not that
Exactly.
100% sure. And once you're getting into technologies of IoT, Internet of Things, there are certain your life can be hell if it gets into something which is very wrong. Your
Yeah.
automated parts which are working can be really scary and turn into your life hell. You won't be alive once you're doing it. But it's not making you fear about what the technology is. It's about those who are developing it, the important way of understanding is for the enterprises is we are always chasing a deadline. We are sure that our product comes into the market and makes billions of money. But once you take security as not a subject of concern for your company, the point comes in you are playing with the customer, your customer's life, your customer's data, because nowadays even before life, your data is much more important. Okay, so the production, it's getting the time getting less. You are developing new products, launching it into the market, and once you're launching it into the market, then definitely you'll find out problems in that. It is quite obvious. And once those problems are severe enough to get customers data to get into individual like devices, once they're installed for their own like in common person's home, if you are using an IoT based connected devices, switches, like lights and everything, even fans and air conditions, everything connected to same network, you cannot guarantee. Once a person gets into, and you have a Wi-Fi which has a basic password because you cannot remember it, so you gave it 1234 at the rate something. It's quite easy. Anybody can get into, then
Yeah.
go to the settings and change it. So once you're a patient of a pneumonia, I'll turn around your AC and going to make it into 22 degrees and keep you sleep at the night, and the next day you are gone. You will miss your entire important meeting that you used to have. So it's quite challenging, but it's important to
Yes, so
testing, and that's why we
I want to share a
lucky
story that I have heard from some cybersecurity seminar kind of stuff, and that was done by a very another very big institute in India. So one kind of terrorist attack was happened in Mumbai through the cybersecurity thing. So one day morning, the manager of the hospital just called to the owner that, sir, we are under terrorist attack. So the owner asked, so where are the terrorists? Are they in the lobby? Are they occupied the place or something like that? So the manager said they are not in the hospital. So the owner asked, how they are not in the hospital? So how there is a terrorist attack in the hospital? So what they have did, they have hacked the system of the lift. Now there are few patients and the doctors are in the lift, and they have told that send me this amount of money in Bitcoin, otherwise I just let the lift free fall, right? So this kind of stuff, or all the medical equipments which are IoT enabled, connected to internet, all.
Ari, sorry to interrupt, but once you're telling this, no, it's not people are not taking it seriously. You are also working into an industry where you are providing, like, once one product which I came into, a very interesting product that you have is like you were that your robotic waiter can serve into the different like restaurants. So that's a very important product. That's really game changer once it comes into this kind of situations, because once you're
Yeah.
willing to avoid the contacts with the human being, so those kind of products, if are launched without proper preventive measures taken, that can also be tweaked and can create havoc. So the point is,
Absolutely.
you being a young person, you know what's important. I'm not blaming the generation which have led us the entire way, but there are some mindsets in the, it's not about talking entirely me talking about my clients, no. But yes, in Kolkata I've seen what you're talking. It is, they have not found out that much hard to understand that if a lift falls off, it can create greater damage to the reputation of the hospital. One, second, the entire life of some individuals who have not done anything and nothing related to it is at stake. That is a critical level vulnerability. That's a huge priority. You need to find out. I have seen in Kolkata, what I was talking about is I have reported, my team has reported. I have gone to personally to them, reported to many big hospitals, which I cannot take name because as per law, I cannot take. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we have sit with them, had a round of tea, coffees, and whatever, whatnot, and we've shown them. See, these are the data openly available of patients who are having pacemakers, of patients who have had heart surgeries, who have patients who are having this kind of sugar pressures and these kind of things. And this can be really, really, really bad for if it goes to any other person. But unfortunate,
Yeah.
they are not
Yeah. So
at
the
all
thing is, if
understanding
something is
person.
not making money directly, people don't want to invest, but they cannot understand the
Yes,
secondary things can
yes,
happen the whole operations. That's really
yes,
really
yes,
very very scary thing. Yeah.
yes.
So we
Yes,
have some questions. I want to put the questions
yeah.
on screen. Then we will
Mhm.
get back to the our discussion. The first question is, nowadays too many processes are getting automated. So does automation improve security or it risks security?
Automations can improve, neither can I can tell improves or not decreases security, because automation depends on how you create the entire layout or form. So once you are taking the individual names, email ID, and processing, clicking on the next button, automatically it comes to your registration form. It's making your life easy. But once it comes into, like, a pop-up comes into your right side corner of your browser, tells, do you want to save this? And you save it. That means the next person who will be operating in your device can get that saved password which you have created. So automations are, I'm taking the basics of examples, because basics need to be very much be understandable for each and every individual, not going into bigger things. You sit around, you have an automated sales process, you find out what all targeted people are coming. It's very good for companies who need to get automation techniques, and it will make life very easy, and it will help them to focus on new things. But once you're feeding data, you should be always find out, and you should have that right. Once you are a citizen of India, there are many regulations, and there will be more regulations, that once I feed in those data, I have complete right to remove that entire data. And if that data gets stolen, the company which has taken the data should be responsible to pay me the amount, or whatever like as per the law, whatever the penalty should be. So those kind of GDPR compliances which are there for the European countries should also be in India, and that will help. So data protection laws, once it comes in, yes, obviously you can use automated tools, and automation will definitely help. Once you're working in companies as a management part, it will definitely, because save itself, what I was talking about, is kind of helping you with the data charts and everything, and also doing some automated process. It's also running different tools which you need not to click on the next button and find out which to scan and what to scan and what to do. So it's making the life easy. So definitely it will help to improve. But security, feeding data, and responsibility of that data which is being taken by the company according to the laws of the country which you are there, it should be much more stringent enough or strict enough, so that you get a better output from that.
Absolutely. So I want to add something when you are talking about automation, so it's not about only hardware automation. So software
Yes.
automation is also an inherent part of security. It's not like somebody is sitting over there and checking all the things all the time. So automation is already an inherent part of the security, but it's a software automation or something like that. So
Yeah.
automation is like a knife. It's up to you how you are using the stuff, and how you're protecting the
Exactly.
automation thing and understanding the legal procedures. So I have a particular question. I personally faced it. So I was just applying for different kind of government funds and all those stuff. So I have filled up a form in a very reputed company. I am not going to tell the name. Very reputed company. Their personal website, not a phishing website, because I have a little bit knowledge about these things, how to get the stuff. After filling up the form, within 10 to 15 minutes, I just received a message from a normal number. Now that really makes me excited to get into a little bit more detail and see what that person is really trying to do. So he said, your loan has been sanctioned, and there will be some processing of documents and all those stuff, and you have to pay a very nominal amount, that is 1500 or 1700, whatever it is, to processing the thing, and then your loan will be credited to your account. Now I know all the government loans required at least 15 days to process, right? So I just keep talking to him and keep talking to him, and he's just trying texting from normal number with the email ID and all those stuff. So in this case, is that particular big corporate insurance company is accountable for exposing my data to those people, or it's just
Yeah.
another attack or something like that?
No. It should be that company. If you are pretty sure, and you have that, like, you can, if there is a law according to the GDPR, if the European citizens have that right, like, if you would have been an European citizen, you should ask, I've given this data. Uh, I have signed in the requisite form where you state that you should be accountable and liable for the data where you're using it. I want to see where you have used it, because I have this kind of things, and you can take up in a court of law, and then the 20% of the annual revenue, or the 3 billion or something, 21 some amount is there, I'm not able to recall right now, is a penalty charge for the company to directly to pay back to the individual person, or as
Is
a
it, is
penalty
it,
charge
is
paying
it true
to
for
the
India
government.
itself?
As of now, no. As of now, no.
So I
But
cannot do
there are
anything.
many. And, you can basically. Let me take up another example. You're telling about some data being compromised from another company, but you are at a hunch that it can be, or it cannot be, right? It
Yeah,
cannot be that
yeah.
company has given share the data. It can be somebody who has taken your mobile number and send you this. So you are not 100% sure. But what I can tell you
So
is I have
I
found
am
out many.
100% sure because they have texted me with the details I have filled up in that form, and they have
Hmm.
texted me on the behalf of that particular loan I have applied for. So
Okay,
how
okay.
this
So
coincidence can happen in 15 minutes?
then it's 100% sure that that company is leaking out data. There might be
Yeah.
individuals who are having that access of the data sheet can be responsible for leaking out data, or the company itself is earning black money through leaking out data. But there should be, like, you have right to go to like file a case against that company according to the IT, like the IT acts. But the point is, in India, we are pretty much scared about of starting and filing a case against an individual who have committed crimes. We would forget about directly going to for against the companies and launching those, because how long it will take to
Yeah.
don't take me otherwise. But it's really a too long time to solve those problems. It should be dealt with a much more easier way, separate ways of doing it. Once we are forced to this new normal, there can be easy ways of hearing, not going to like the court physically, and you have easy ways of dealing with those data. Once the process gets much more quicker and easier stuff, then you will be on a part or point where you will be able to benefited from those kind of things once you do it. So that's a completely separate issue.
Yeah.
Coming to the
Yeah.
point, like what I was telling is, I have seen examples. I found out vulnerabilities. My team, I personally, they have found out. Samir, my partner, who has found out vulnerabilities in one of the reputed matrimonial site. Okay, so once they register, okay, you register in a matrimonial site, you give your password ID and everything, and you log into. And the next time once you log in, you just click on forgot my password. Then you should be entitled to get a link in your mail ID at your mail ID. But they are sending what they're sending the password which you have given to that in a clear text at your mail ID. That means those passwords are being stored somewhere, right? Now
And
that
they're
was
not
the first.
encrypting the passwords.
No, that was the first reaction from my end, and he said, oh, "What's this? That's can be real stuff." So once we try to get into the back end, let's see. Once we get into the back end, we see a clear database assigned to this name, this password, this name, this password, and the entire we downloaded it, we given it to them. They acknowledged us there. Thank you. What all steps we can take? We told them these all steps you can take, and that was at a very beginning of our company's journey, back in like in 15 end, or 15 starting 2015. So that time we were not into only into grabbing out clients. We were able to help individuals so that we can build up reputation. That's a part of our business, and everyone follows it. So we gave it an offer to them that we'll serve you for free. We'll tell you what all things are there to mitigate those kind of risk. So they were very happy, and they took our solution. So it's very easy, and it depends on individual companies how you are treating the data. So once there is
Yeah.
no stringent laws like GDPR, no, it becomes really easy for companies to raise their hand and tell I'm not accountable for it.
Yeah.
So it should not be
Absolutely.
like that.
So it's about their knowledge about data and the efficient way of using data for good and bad. So they need to know about this, how, and it's not about only the clients they are having, they can have big pressure for their own company itself. So suppose somebody is getting into a medical company or a hospital databases and putting a zero of every after every number, so that can create a pandemic in that hospital and many people can die out of it only with a zero or something like that. So they need to understand the importance of data and how that data can be used as a weapon against them. So that's the incredible thing you guys are doing. So we have another question, like, sir, nowadays we are using a lot of net banking services. In the scale of 1 to 10, sir, how much risky is using the net banking?
Depends on individual banking services which they are providing. 6-digit OTP which should come to you is quietly recommendable. Once a banking OTP comes, I'm telling about a basic because I found out vulnerabilities. 4-digit OTPs are quite easily to bypass. So not only in banking, wherever you're getting 4-digit OTPs for whatever registration, be pretty much sure that that can be easily spoofed or kind of got into those kind of OTP bypass techniques which we are using right now. So 6-digit OTP. Then the next important thing is once you're using net banking, it depends. Nowadays you are using app banking and net banking. I'm referring it to like directly using it from your laptop. App banking, what I'm referring to is using applications in your Android phone or an iOS phone. So those applications have 7 digits or like 7 or 9 digits of numeric passwords which you can set as a login. So that need to be quite really important to be like kept in your mind. Maximum people use their mobile numbers as their password. So once your phone gets stolen, it becomes very easy, and that to do a transaction. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you want me to rate it, I cannot take banks but I can tell that maximum of Indian banks have kind of like private banks have kind of secured login and log out, and they have reduced the XSS part, cross-site scripting part as well. But some of the companies into public domain banking uh, are still now vulnerable. Now, once you come into technical point of XSS, I want to explain it like it and like in pop-up which comes into your log after you logged in and you click on that, or your session can be taken up from that part and do the transactions or a little bit of changes. So there are some vulnerabilities if I'm quietly mentioning that, but I cannot take the names of the public sector banks.
Yeah,
But private sector,
absolutely.
they are pretty much here. But I cannot tell you that 100% applications are 100% secure. I haven't got a chance to. I haven't been paid by the banks, big private banks till now, to get into and test those apps. But once technical, like there are people who are completely continually testing it, but obviously they follow good standards. Like if I need to mention the positive ways of like where the HDFC banks, they're doing quite good, but I'm not enforcing any kind of private banks are good.
Yeah. So I have a question, and I was thinking about these questions from longer period of time. Like, as because I am into IT, I am into this IoT kind of stuff, and I am a little bit knowledgeable about the technology. So I know wherever I am keeping my password in a digital form, it's not protected. So if the hacker know how to get into that stuff, they can get into that stuff and get my passwords. And it's not possible for a human being to remember all the passwords, or even if I am giving same password to all the accounts, that is also vulnerable, right? So how we should store passwords, because every day we are having new platforms, new software. So what is the best way to store passwords and keep them safe?
Uh, to answer this, I would rather tell you one thing is it was like I was really surprised to see that the solutions which I gave in public forums and media, also fortunately, Kevin Mitnick sir has also come into live and told that that is the best way. He has not quoted me or not taken it. It was fortunate enough to get at same time. Like I also told that, and he also did a live few days after. But it's not about bragging me that I am so brilliant to tell it. It's quite easy. To be very honest, it's human beings' brains that are much more capable of doing complex stuff. So nobody can disagree. Not because I and you are being human and people who are listening are humans that they need to win it. But the race is already won by humans. We are going cruising into space and everywhere. So the human brains, how there's a trick. You have passed out class 10 and class 12 remembering complex mathematical formulas and many stuffs. I'm telling you one interesting trick to do it. You have a sentence like Abhishek loves fruits, which is quite not, but I have to give it as a password. So if I write this as a password, it's very becoming very easy. So within few seconds it can be cracked. So you can use the dictionary attack to crack this. You can use some numbers to it, but the important thing is you can use this sentence writing in a lead language. What is lead language? Now you need to understand you can replace those letters
Yeah,
into special letters and numbers.
we
So
can
once
create a ciphertext out of it.
yes, so nobody knows that I love fruits because people know that that's a kind of negative. Like I'm not associated with fruits that much. I cannot tell that I love fruits. I can keep my password. I can love burgers, but that's quite normal. People will test it in my social media. So you can have it something which is like this, and you can just tweak it with some interesting thing Abhishek. It's you start with A, though you can write that A into like change it into at the rate. So at the rate, then you're writing B capital B. Okay, those will become an uppercase. Then age you're writing, you replace that age with hash. Okay, so you if you that's a kind of relative things you can do. Age, then you're writing I. You can write I as exclamation. Okay, and then S, turn it into dollar. Then again age, you can write hash. So you should remember what all you are replacing as a special character and number.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So once
So
you
we need
remember
to create our own
that,
cipher function, and we have to pass the password through that cipher function and develop the cipher text and save that cipher text instead of the password, right? So I
yes.
personally do that stuff, but still I was not sure that whether it's really protected or not. And thank you so much for giving me validation that it's really works. So I usually do that
It's
stuff.
not about it's not about me telling you that it can help. You can directly test test your password strength in going to Google and finding out that type it along that
not
find
it's
your
not about only the
password
password
strength.
strength. I'm not only talking about the
So
password
you
strength. So
okay. Attacks, if anybody can take at your account or wherever you are giving the password, yes, definitely. People will not be that much easy to get into, but you cannot tell that you are 100% secure. Like people who are listening to this, like casting, they and people who have found out that people who are close to you, they know that you can use this kind of communication. So it's becoming easy once you're talking in a public forum or wherever you use it. But obviously the sentence where you're replacing those text, the sentence takes the entire credit and what you are thinking and what you're keeping in that point. Okay, so obviously your human brains have created computers, and everybody knows that, agrees that, and you can easily handle that by having some certain things to be taken care. Password very important wherever you're doing it. Those are associated with each and every accounts are getting synced. Okay, so you're logging into through your Facebook ID to this streaming what we are doing right now. If you're logging into this
yeah,
streaming through the Facebook ID, so that streaming company is also responsible for my data. Even if I have another option of getting into and creating an login ID and password for it, I would have given that option from this streaming. I haven't found out because I was trying to. Either you can get in through YouTube or you can get in through Facebook. So either or I'm getting that access. I'm not giving any kind of password, but now completely relying to that company. So if any data goes away, if anybody gets compromised, the first company to be liable should be this one. And even also we are using it without having that option. So people should also have a mindset of discarding those options which like the applications which doesn't give an like an another way of getting into or logging into. Like you should create your register, you to register yourself. So once you're not giving that option, you should discard those kind of things. It's better for
So
your privacy.
so there are certain password managers who are telling that they will keep my password safe. Are they really safe? There are certain software, some
See,
web-based SaaS platform. So are they really safe?
I cannot take the names, but maximum companies who are doing it, they are pretty much into the business. They are trying new things to make it more safe. But again, I'm coming to a simple point: is it's human thinking and ability to understand how to use a password, and your sensibleness of security and understanding the basics of security is important. You cannot directly rely on any other third party company as password manager or storage where you can completely keep it always. Basic things of like what I've told as the sentence, you can do it and convert into a lead language. And then you can also need to change the passwords on a periodic basis, like after 6 months or 1 year. What 1 year it will be too long. 6 months is good enough. So keeping those into different like password managers or something. I haven't tested entirely all those applications which are available into the market, but I have seen few of it, not on a way of like completely testing on it, but I've tried to understand the logics and how they are working on. It seems interesting. It's good enough to use it. But obviously it's better to store it in your brain and have it use it in a smart way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we are absolutely at the end of the show. We have 9 minutes in our hands. So I want to discuss about the educational part of this ethical hacking and the cyber security. So what is the right time people should start learning about? Is school a right time? Like we can indulge people into robotics in school through STEM education. So is it really possible for this cyber security kind of stuff?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, we are doing it, but it as of now we have only focused on people who are into colleges, started into college, or after just completing their class 12, because this is a kind of thing which is related to understandings of technologies, and you can manipulate those technologies. So the complete right mindset of person need to be developed. You are giving some powers of using tools and also using coding knowledge, and also finding out knowledge like abilities to find out problems in different techniques. So the mindset of the person who is finding out the loopholes is good, but if you're finding out and you are using it in a negative way of earning money, that becomes creating cyber criminals. So I think school for us is a place where they should obviously go for the basics of preventing their stuffs from getting hacked, and then going after class 12 they should focus on how to get a job and secure a job into cybersecurity industry if they really love to challenge technologies.
Great, great. So if somebody wants to learn it through their own self, through online available resources and all those stuff, this is this really work? Because there are certain,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that works. I can completely guarantee that. See, you need not to come and find out companies like Indian Cybersecurity Solution or whatever there are comings into. Like there are different lot of advertisements that's come and only focus on getting the certificate from a company like us, or even getting global certifications, or getting national level certification sanctioned by or authorized by government agencies. See, certification is the second thing. First is your understanding of knowing the ability to learn. and that ability to learn is due to your curiosity, and your curiosity will only develop once you're working with different tools and different things. So see, it's very important. We come into the picture once you are really interested in cybersecurity and you want to explore that, because we can guide you what the best way is, number one. Number two is we can help you with the practical examples that are actually going on into the real life scenario. We can definitely teach you how to hack into social media accounts, which is being which is being the huge demand, but it's not quite a worth of thing to understand how it can be hacked or how only it can be prevented. Yes, you can prevent it from your end, but once you are able to challenge the like the technologies and finding out simple loopholes, and that is where your curiosity level rises, and you can definitely go into different online forums where you can learn it. Even we have a YouTube channel of our own, so we are giving you all kind of basic stuffs and also pretty level advanced stuffs that people can completely rely on and get engaged into and understand the basic. And even you can learn further into like develop your career, not only going into some company and learning it. You can, if you have that skill, see, you can teach it by yourself, because Google, YouTube, these all things have completely transformed the way people want to educate themselves. If you have that curiosity in you, you can do wonders. You do not rely on individual company, you will definitely do things. You can even get into certain level, but once you want to like excel that, then you can definitely come to us, and we will help you to guide you all. Ethical hacking and being the basics is easily can be taught in, we can able to teach you. Also there are like online forums and video platforms where you can learn it for free, even for very basic charges. What we can help you with, we have these experiences, we can share it with you. We have practical sessions, you can do it. Yeah, we have that how we are implementing machine learning technology into this ethical hacking and cyber security. Why I'm talking about IoT, because I'm also my education division is also providing training on IoT. So we are also into cloud, AWS and Azure, we are teaching that. We want to have our like the core team, technical team much more advanced. That's why also you're also into education business, and you are also finding out raw talents out of those people and recruit it. And that's pretty much the best business model as we can find it out from our end, because that helps.
So starting
That
with
really,
education is the best way to start with zero money. As far as my knowledge is concerned and my struggle is concerned. So if we want to start with a company with certain technological domain, it's the best way to start educating people. So it can happen. It has two facilities. One is we can start with zero
yes,
money. The second thing,
yes,
we are creating our workforce that we will require in future to grow up the
that
company
is
and
much
build
more
products and
important.
all those stuff.
Yes, the workforce is much more important. The first point is zero money. The point when this once it comes up with money is, see, recruit. You need, once you are a starter. Even I consider, yes, we are in a startup company itself. After 4 or after even 10 years, I will say we are startup company, because the startup culture is very much important. And if you love that, you will definitely love those things. And once a raw talent who knows how to find out certain things in a specific manner, once they are being into this pipeline of people, this gives you an open-minded person who are ready to test, and who are ready to find out, who are ready to explore, who are ready to innovate. Once these are things are there, that brings in that brings in a good culture of knowing. You will go the extra mile. Even people who are sitting in the office after 6 o'clock, they're doing research. Okay, so I as an individual, being a layman, I would consider myself layman into cybersecurity till now, because they know much more better things than me. Obviously, my team. I want to learn from them, because I won't be able to go and find out the exact topic which is telling. I would sit down quietly and understand what they're talking about. So that gives a good
Exactly.
culture. They can exchange their knowledge. An AWS person is telling to a cybersecurity person, say, this is the way you will not be able to crack me. And IoT person is telling, see, I have this drone and you find out and manipulate this. So that person will tell, yes, I can definitely do it. They have a bet among themselves that whoever does it can order these many pizzas and give a treat to the other employees. So it's a quite an interesting thing once you are into this, and I completely enjoy. Well, right now we are forced into working from home, but once there was pretty normal kind of things, we enjoy it. So research is
Absolutely.
the key, is the key. And we have only found out success, and any company can find success through a simple mantra of being focused what you love. Don't be too much obsessed about what you are gaining from it, because business is a journey, is not a destination. So you should enjoy that, and people who are associated with you should love that business, that effort, that customer, what you are acquiring, that happy customers, that those people who, what you can value add to your product, and that is being enjoyed by the customers, improve the quality of services from your end, whether it be education, whether it be providing solutions to multinational companies, even banks. We have audited a bank recently in Qatar. So they were also very much impressed. Even we have a very small team. We cannot tell I have 500 people with me and give me that project, but they were able to trust me and my company, because they've seen some technical glitches that can turn up into huge loopholes that can be explored into and exploited into, to be very exact. So once that exploitation happens, it can be a huge loss to the bank. And once it comes to banks in Qatar, so they were pretty much convinced, and they gave us this project. We have delivered that. They were pretty happy during this lockdown. Everything happened with that project. We were having 10 to 15 people working on that. So the point is, the people who are working, they're also taking classes for individual students. That also helps the people who are working to get some new questions thrown out to them. Once those new questions are thrown out to them, they are also able to use their brain and find out solution. And who knows, and many times I have seen personally myself, I've answered many questions, I found out and stepped back and seen into and searched into, and I found out that yes, this solution which I have told is what I have got questions and what I have seen people talking about, and with my understanding I'm able to solve that problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So entrepreneurship is always a journey of learning. If we are stop learning, we are not an entrepreneur anymore. So we have to learn in every moment, because the startup companies are evolving every day, and every day new things are happening. So we have to keep learning. So thank you
Yes.
so much for such insightful information. And I would like to host you on another show with a much longer period of time, so that we can talk about lots of other things related to security, because this
Definitely.
security is the ocean, and we have just
Yes.
collected few
I
pebbles
would love
today.
to show
And
some practical things later on. We will definitely get in touch and arrange some more things that help the individuals to understand much more clearly, and much more basically of understanding the securities at a very nominal way, like from the root part. So that will help.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So I will plan, and I will talk to you, and you can give me advices how to do that stuff and when we can do it. And we are having a discussion for that stuff for longer period of time, but because of both of our busy schedule, we couldn't match our timing to do that stuff. But right now we are all working from home, so we can talk and decide about a time, and we can go for it. So thank you so much, Abhishek, for joining us, and for this wonderful
Thank
1 hour
you.
session. And please give a good wishes to the people who are going for the nationals for NASA Space Up Challenge. And we 11 teams are going from Think Again Lab itself, from different states of India. So for some inspiration, some motivation for them.
As till now, I still being into the entrepreneurship journey, it's quite fascinating of like listening to or getting knowledge about NASA and space, something which excites all individuals. And I'm not an exceptional, I'm also the part of that brilliant thing that people are participating in this kind of event. And as rightly said, by as rightly by individuals who are thinking of making India and progress of India and everything. It's quite good to see that young talents are participating and going into that level And obviously, I personally do believe that Indians are definitely in a, not only because they are the huge market to be sold, and that's why people are sitting into different companies and being a CEO and CTOs, and it's not about that only. It's about their talents, and definitely those talents had helped us. You think about Sundar Pichai. You think about whatever you think about Ratan Tata, who is my role model. So I definitely I need to like these all things will help them to grow. And once they start with like we also had that kind of exposures, fortunate enough to those once we were into the like I was into the schooling of St. Xavier School in Purulia, and so there all these stuffs took place, but I was not that much courageous enough to go and present it, because not I'm not that much technical too. So yeah, definitely you have a very awesome wishes, best of luck, and do wonders. You're doing you're actually participating into this. It's a good thing, and try to winning losing depends on depends on situation whatever, but learning is quite which you can get. It's not about that we being an entrepreneur we are organizing this webinar and that's why we should tell it. It's really actually should come from bottom of your heart that winning and losing is completely a different ball game. You at the end of the day you should learn. You should always have that spirit of winning, fighting spirit. You should always have, otherwise you cannot move to forward. But once the game, once the entire like the process has ended, you should sit and understand what you have learned, because that learning will help you. You should obviously be entitled to many failures than less success, and those pretty 1 2 3 successes will entirely change your entire like the entire scenario. I think I am pretty much sure that Arijit has also failed in millions of times. I think not millions of even several times.
every
But
day.
yes, you should love to fail, because it's not about. I also watch movies
I
and I
personally don't believe that fail is the opposite word of success. It's part
no
of the
no.
success. If I want to get
It,
success every day, I have to fail every day. That's the equation I
yes.
have for my life.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I am a fond of I used to see movies previously. Now also, if I get time, I love to. But those movies which have some specific like the understanding of like the mottos of life and other things. So once I found out an movie called Rocky 4, I think, the last part, Rocky 5, where Sylvester Stallone and his son was having a talk. And Sylvester Stallone told the son that don't be afraid of life. It's about whenever you're in the ring, consider this journey to be inside a ring. It's important how much you can get hit, how much you can fall down, and then you can get up and wait for your one punch, and that punch will actually exhaust the opponent and will help you to win, because the entire time he was busy hitting you. Consider your life be hitting you, but the one chance you get, you can give your 100%. So this is your 100% time to hit it hard, as hard you can hit it, and you can definitely win. So all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for joining us, and that's a fabulous session. And I'm just immediately planning for a next session with you for all the viewers. So, bye bye.